Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Kimberly Cloud Show. I'm your host, Kimberly Cloud. Wow. Leslie Jones. Very inappropriate stuff the left is doing to us. And I'm here to debunk it. This is a 9 to 15-minute segment on her part. This is going to be a 30-minute segment on my part. I feel really bad that people like us go through this. Good Republicans, whether black and white or white, goes through this. So I'm here to talk about how I know she's wrong. And I'll tell you in a second. I have everything lined up. So give me a second. Let's share the screen. I'm not all professional and snazzy. I don't get paid to talk junk. Donald Trump isn't paying me. But who is paying you? Who's paying you? See, I'd rather believe in what's right and get blacklisted than to believe in what's wrong and probably SLUT myself out to the whole world. I can say with dignity, I don't do that. Can you? Let's see what she said from beginning to end. Mind you, before you go in a company like that to sit up there and be an audience, they screen you and they write down how you feel about things. And on top of that, when they write down how you feel about things, they say you have to participate. So when they hold up a screen that says applause, you have to applause, right? So that's debunk number one.
Your favorite auntie is back to straighten out America. Because America needs me. Lord, have mercy. The election is now less than 8 months away, and guess what? America is on the path to doing something really, really stupid.
New Fox News polls finding former President Trump leading President Biden by 5 points nationally in a head-to-head matchup. This is his biggest lead yet against Joe Biden. Just over half of those voters said that they are worse off today than compared to 2020.
A new CBS News poll shows 46% of registered voters remember the Trump-era presidency as excellent or good, compared to President Biden's 33%.
If the election were held today, even Democrats, I know, think that Trump would win.
What?
Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Once again, look at that.
The is wrong with us? Seriously? This is like a movie where you see the disaster coming from a mile away.
What disaster do we see? Make America great again? Leslie? What disaster do we see? What disaster do we see? We see the black. Did you see the black child, 2 years old, whether black or white, but he happened to be black in Washington, D.C., my hometown, that got shot over 2 illegal gang members fighting and shooting in the air? Did you see the fact that a gang member, I don't even know the gang member's title, they shot another Hispanic woman that raised a child, wasn't even 6 months old yet, and he was disabled, and they shot her 5 times and left her dead in cold blood on the highway. Get out of here. That's the disaster.
And nobody is stopping it. Every time I turn on the news, I'm shouting at the screen like it's a horror movie. Don't go in there, America. Leatherface is in there, America. I mean, are we going to really bring back a man who tried to overthrow the government?
Debunk number 2. Watch this.
So the wall would get built, but we may not have an agreement today. We probably won't. But we have an agreement on other things that are really good. Nancy, would you like to say something?
Well, thank you, Mr. President, for the opportunity to meet with you so that we can work together in a bipartisan way to meet the needs of the American people. I think the American people recognize that we must keep government open, that a shutdown is not worth anything, and that you should not have a Trump shutdown. You have the White House,
Did you say Trump?
shutdown.
Oh.
You have the White House,
It's gonna go.
you have the Senate, you have the House of Representatives, you have the votes. You should pass it
No, we
right
don't have
now.
the votes, Nancy, because in the Senate, we need 60
No,
votes.
but in the House,
we don't
you
have.
could bring it up right now.
Yeah, but I
today.
can't, excuse me, but I can't get it passed in the House if it's not going to pass in the Senate. I don't want to waste time.
Well, the fact is, you can get it started that way.
The House, we can get passed very easily,
Okay,
and we
then
do.
it. Then
But
do
the
it.
problem is the Senate, because we need 10 Democrats to vote,
No,
and
no, that's
they
not
won't
the
vote.
point, Mr. President.
I've been using Epidemic Sound as my go-to resource for background music and sound effects for the last 6 years.
The point is that there are equities to be weighed. And we're here to have a conversation in a
Correct.
prayerful way. So I don't think we should have a debate in front of the press on this. But the fact is, the House Republicans could bring up this bill if they had the votes immediately and set the tone for what you want.
If we thought we were going to get it passed in the Senate, Nancy, we would do it immediately. We'd get it passed very easily in the House.
No, that's
We
not
would
the
get
point.
it, Nancy, I'd have it passed in 2 seconds. It doesn't matter, though, because we can't get it passed in the Senate because we need 10 Democrat votes. That's the
Well,
problem.
again, let us have our conversation, then we
That's
can
right.
meet with the press again. But the fact is that legislating, which is what we do,
Right.
you begin, you make your point, you state your case. That's what the House Republicans could do if they had the votes. But there are no votes in the House, a majority of votes for a wall, no matter where you stand.
Exactly right. You don't have.
If I needed the votes for the wall in the House, I would have them in one session,
Well, then
would
go
be
do
done.
it. Go do it.
It doesn't help because we need 10 Democrats in
No,
the
don't
Senate.
put it on the Senate, put it
Of
on,
course.
put it on the negotiation.
Okay, let me ask you this, and we're doing this in a very friendly manner. It doesn't help for me to take a vote in the House where I will win easily with the Republicans.
You will not win.
It doesn't help to take that vote because I'm not going to get the vote
Don't put
of
it
the
on
Senate. I need
Mr.
10
President.
senators. That's
Mr.
the problem.
President, you have the White House, you have the Senate.
I have the
you
White
have
House. The White
of
House is done, and the House would give me the vote if I wanted it. But I can't because I need, Nancy, I need 10 votes from Chuck.
All right, let me say
Mr. President,
something.
Let me just say one
Go
thing.
ahead.
The fact is, you do not have the votes in the House.
Nancy, I do. And we need
Well,
border
let's take the
security.
vote, we'll
Nancy,
find out.
Nancy, we need border security. It's very simple.
Of course we do.
We need border security.
That's all he wanted to shut down the government for. Let's continue to watch.
People are pouring into our country, including terrorists. We have terrorists. We caught 10 terrorists over the last very short period of time. 10. These are very serious people. Our border agents, all of our law enforcement has been incredible what they've done. But we caught 10 terrorists. These are people that were looking to do harm. We need the wall. We need, more important than anything, we need border security, of which the wall is just a piece. But it's important. Chuck, did you want to say
Yeah,
something?
here's what I want to say. We have a lot of disagreements here. The Washington Post today gave you a whole lot of Pinocchios because they say you constantly misstate how much the wall is built, how much of the wall is built and how much is there. But that's not the point here. We have a disagreement about the wall,
Washington.
whether it's effective or whatever. Not on border security, but on the wall. We do not want to shut down the government. You have called 20 times to shut down the government. You say, I want to shut down the government. We don't. We want to come to an agreement. If we can't come to an agreement, we have solutions that will pass the House and Senate right now and will not shut down the government. And that's what we're urging you to do. Not threaten to shut down the government
You don't
because you,
want to
let me
shut
just
down the
finish,
government, Chuck.
because you can't get
The
your
last time
way.
you shut it down, you
Yeah,
got
let me
killed.
say something, Mr. President. You just say my way or we'll shut down the government. We have a proposal that Democrats and Republicans will support to do a CR that will not shut down the government. We urge you to take
And
it.
if it's not good border security, I
It
won't
is
take
very
it.
good
And if
border
it's not
security.
good border security, I won't take it.
It's what the
Because when
board,
you look at these numbers of the effectiveness of our border security, and when you look at the job that we're doing
you
with our
just said it is
military,
effective.
can I tell you something?
Yeah, you just said it's
Without a
effective.
wall, these are only areas where you have the
We
walls.
want to do
Where
this.
you have walls, Chuck, it's effective.
We-
Where you don't have
Wait a
walls,
second.
it is not effective.
Yeah.
Let's call a halt to this. We've come in here as the first branch of government, Article 1, the legislative branch. We're coming in good faith to negotiate.
Why didn't they want the wall? It was only 5 million. So let's go back to I don't want to say what I wanted to say, but let's go back to Leslie Jones.
This is like asking Jeffrey Epstein to watch your kids.
Really? Thank you. See, this is what they do to Democrats. They reverse it. So I got another video I'm about to show you. Give me just a second.
I have.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, well, nice to see you guys. Thank you. See you back home, I hope.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay?
Back to Leslie. Jeffrey Epstein, where have you seen Trump lean over on a kid and actually kiss him like that? When? When have you seen that? I'm going to zoom out. I want you to see everything. F me. Let's see what else she got to say.
Or a pedophile priest to watch your kids.
You see how they throw it back and forth? This is what they do to me. They make me out to be somebody I'm not when it's really them that way. She's hitting, she's saying these things. Show me the proof. She's on high-end television saying these wrong things about him when it's proof that our president is inappropriate with children and 13-year-old girls. One more. Not that one. I got to think for a second. Hold on, y'all. Where is it at? Oh, they don't show it. No, there it is. And mind you, the guy, years later, the guy that's speaking, that's about to speak, his wife getting rubbed up on the shoulder by President Biden. He don't like President Biden. He died 3-4 years ago.
To do with this incident when the Vice President Joe Biden squeezed the shoulders of Carter's wife Stephanie and later seemingly whispered into her ear. The awkwardness stretching far beyond the White House to social media, where the hashtag Biden pickup lines soon made the rounds on Twitter. Sadly, most of those pickup lines we cannot say on the air, but we can give you a sampling of the reaction from other outlets. BuzzFeed saying, quote, Joe Biden got a little handsy with the new defense secretary's wife, noting Biden.
Defense secretary is dead. The new defense secretary is dead. I read that and I would cry. I cried.
Left his hands on Stephanie Carter's shoulders for an estimated 28 seconds. The Daily Beast, being a little bit more blunt, declaring, quote, Joe Biden needs a tranquilizer dart. And the U.S. needs, quote, a new Veep hands-off policy. Finally, a Washington Post political reporter summed it up this way.
Confirmed Bill Clinton did go to Epstein Island, which all these witnesses said they saw, where children were raped, were tortured. So Patrick Howley, who's been on this case for many, many years, is here with us right now to break down the latest.
No, I don't want to hear that. I just want to know what she said, because I don't know. They treat him. That would get me kicked off of here saying that. So I want CBS. Here we go.
2 people from Florida have pleaded guilty to stealing and selling the private diary of President Biden's daughter, Ashley. Biden's daughter was moving from a friend's home in 2020, and she left behind some personal items, including her diary. They were found by a woman who, along with a friend, sold them to the conservative activist group Project Veritas. They've been ordered to forfeit the $40,000 they were paid, and they now face 5 years in prison.
No, that's not what. Or how about this?
One of the better things that I decided to do in my adult life was to see a therapist.
If, like me, you suffer in silence.
There are hugs where you just throw up your arms and go for it. And then there are hugs that keep going and going and going. Joe Biden wouldn't let Hillary go as they met on the tarmac at Scranton Airport. About 4 seconds into the hug, they semi-disengage. Nothing to see here, right? Wrong, because the vice president wouldn't unhand Hillary for almost 16 seconds.
Notice how many times she tries to tap out. She lets it go. He does not. She tap out. Nope, she's just, no, he's still holding on. Okay, second tap out. For God's sake, Joe, you got to let go.
This latest awkward hug would not have been microanalyzed if it hadn't been for all the other overly handy Biden moments. Critics collect them. Times when he gently rearranges a young girl's hair and whispers in her ear, then rearranges some more. There's nothing pervy here. The VP knows.
They look the other way. They look the other way. She feels so nervous. Poor thing, man.
He's on camera at these swearing-in ceremonies, and the parents are right there as he leans in for a kiss. The VP is known as a close talker. He even does it to the president. Perhaps his most famous hands-on moment came when he put his hands on the wife of Defense Secretary Ash Carter.
Got a lot of thanks to give out.
Conservatives panned it.
This is the creepiest thing.
And so did some liberals.
No, that ain't right, man. That ain't right. Why are you appeared to smell her hair?
At least the VP didn't get that close to Hillary. Now, Hillary and President Obama have come a long way in their history of hugging. From this paltry excuse for a hug 8 years ago after he defeated her, to this. A hug so close that Hillary closed her eyes. They even gazed into each other's eyes. This was a hug so novel for these two, it looked like the cover of a romance novel. Jeannie Mo, CNN, New York.
Let's go back to Leslie. I want to hear what she got to say.
Or that sick who used to work at Nickelodeon to watch your kids. Hey, how about we do this? Don't let anybody watch your kids. And listen, I know some people don't care about January 6th, but let me remind you about something real quick. He was also a terrible president before that.
I was making $150,000 a year. How is he a terrible president? If he was president, he'd be like, no, that 150,000 isn't gonna happen for a nigger. Y'all need to make up your minds about this, because people will feed stuff and then they have the audience. Sometimes it's recorded, sometimes it's not. Like you stare, say, point at a foot, say, look at the foot, and people laugh off of it.
Do you really not remember? I know we don't have the attention spans anymore, but how can you forget the man who wanted to nuke a hurricane? That actually happened. And the thing that gets me the most is there are people who are saying we're worse off than we were in 2020. In 2020, we didn't even have toilet paper.
I had a 5-bedroom house, 3 bath with abundant deer, black bear, everything I can possibly ask for. I had a man named Marty Kaiser who they made enemy of he made enemy of the state. Enemy of the state was made about him. He didn't direct it, but he paid Hollywood to produce it. If you want to look up Marty Kaiser, Odyssey of an Eavesdropper, he worked and brought tools, listening devices for the FBI, the CIA, and the police department. So some of them first generation weapons that y'all have for listening devices, police officers, CIA, and FBI, he created it. He actually took me to inside of his trailer where he showed me listening devices. It was of abundance. So I don't want to hear that, Leslie.
Was wiping our ass with family photos. And listen, I know the pandemic wasn't Trump's fault, but Trump made it worse every chance he got. Don't you people remember the kind of advice he was giving us?
President Trump suggested, without facts, that bleach injections might fight COVID.
And then I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute.
The disinfectant spray that you spray on your table for the COVID, that is everywhere for the COVID. Yes, that knocks out the COVID, but he did not say take the drug, like drink it.
1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost?
I get what he's saying. If you don't get what he's saying, then it's an issue. He wants something like a disinfectant spray. Like, that's something I would think about. Let's take something like a disinfectant spray, obviously do pharmaceuticals and trials, and sit up there and put it into our bodies when it's approved, obviously. And the foundation of it is to wipe the infection clean, like a disinfectant cleaning.
Cleaning.
He told us to inject ourselves with disinfectant. We turned to him for advice, and dude was like, kill yourself.
You see how she turned it around? You see how she turned it around? Did he say that, y'all? Do you see what they doing? Do you see what they're doing? Who in the world, like I said earlier, it's plausible that some of these people get paid on campaigns to smear other Republicans. It's obvious.
I could go on and on about why it would be a terrible idea to bring back Trump. But you know what? I guess I shouldn't be surprised that America is about to do something that we know is harmful to us.
What's us mean? Who is us? Because it's not harmful to me. It's not harmful to the colleges, the black-owned colleges that keep trying to go to get money from Biden. And Biden is not giving the black colleges no money, but Trump did. And they kept coming back for more money, saying that they don't have no finances for their black colleges. Did you see the hug with that African-American girl and Trump? That was genuine because they know the truth.
Because that is what we always do. Look at how we treat our own bodies. We know we need to sleep 8 hours a night, but we stay up all night scrolling onto our phone until it falls on our damn face. We know we should take care of our mental health, but we entertain ourselves by watching documentaries of serial killers. We know we should go to the doctor, but instead we get medical advice from the internet. Listen, I'm guilty of it too. When I feel sick, I look up symptoms on WebMD. I know it's irresponsible, but I can't control myself, probably because I'm dying of scurvy. We are constantly making decisions that we know are bad for us. We know we should be eating healthy, but instead we eat like shit. We're out here eating double stuffed Oreos and triple decker sandwiches. We stack our food like a Jenga. You know what has only one layer? A goddamn carrot. Just look at the lengths we go. Just look at the lengths we go to for fast food. Look at it.
Well, this week we learned the answer to the age-old question, how long would you wait in line just for an In-N-Out burger?
At the store's first location in Idaho, some patrons had to wait as long as 8 hours. This week's opening featured customers even braving cold temperatures to camp out overnight just to be the first in line.
You disgusting, gluttonous motherfucker.
Let me make sure she ain't talking about nothing else important. Matter of fact, I done said enough. I want to show you one last thing, and then I'm off of here for the night. How would it feel to let a pedophile in a school? Wouldn't it be such the best thing for a pedophile? The best thing for a pedophile. And let's not forget this. Since I can't find the one I'm looking for, I'm going to show you this. Where's the roaches? Sky News picked it up. Oh, I know what I can do. Watch this. I want you to see if this is inappropriate. Just let me know if this is inappropriate. Just let me know. And watch Jill's hand when they come through the door. This is Zelensky. This is Zelensky. Now, there are some allegations that this could be his son. I don't think it's true. But just watch for yourself. They're showing different angles. I'm kind of confused. This isn't the one I seen. Hold on. This is the whole one. Wait, hold on.
Mr. President, how important is this visit? Mr. President, how important is this visit?
One last thing.
A 19-second video of Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has gotten millions of views on Twitter. The viral video shows Zelensky speaking at a press conference on the anniversary of Russia's invasion. And it sure sounds from this short clip like he made a dramatic declaration that Americans have to fight in Ukraine.
The U.S. will have to send their sons and daughters exactly the same way as we are sending their sons and daughters to war. And they will have to fight because it's NATO that we're talking about. And they will be dying, God forbid, because it's a horrible thing.
Critics of America.
Do y'all know where money goes? Do y'all know where money goes when Zelensky, when somebody dies in Ukraine and they send out a paycheck to an address that person died? Where does that money go? That's a very easy question, right? Just answer. You don't have to write it down, but just answer. It goes back to the government. So who would benefit from rebuilding from scratch? Not the people that are 80, 70, and 60 years old that are dying. They're in their house. They just go out to buy groceries, getting killed. Who would benefit from rebuilding with the 30 and 40-year-olds that's being, some of them are coming here. And then you got the ones that are staying there and they're like, I'm staying here for my country because I love Zelensky. So they're going to have history in 70 years from now when they're 70 talking about, hey, look, Zelensky was a wonderful guy. I didn't even know that this was going to, I'm looking for something else. There. Let's look at one last thing. Zelensky birth date. He was born January 25th, 1978. What is President Biden, Joe Biden Jr.'s birthday? No, not Joe Biden. Biden Jr. What's his name? Hunter Biden. Birthday. That kind of threw everyone. So in 1978, February 4th, 1970, 8 years later, but wait, hold on. Hunter Biden's birthday. 1970, January and February. One is 8 years younger than the other. Now, do you know where Hunter Biden is working? Do you know who he worked with? He works with Zelensky in a business unlike never before. And the lady, the mayor, you might as well say mayor, they call her something else, of Russia, which I'll show you, paid him $2 million. Russian ladies pays Hunter Biden $2 million. Oh, they closing it up. Yeah, Russian billionaire Elena Baturina gave him $3.5 million. Let's see, does Hunter Biden work with President Zelensky? I could be wrong, but I heard it from somewhere. Biden Ukraine conspiracy theory. Oh, it gets so Hunter Biden, who was on the Burisma board, allegedly Joe Biden, while he was vice president, improperly withheld a loan guarantee and took a bribe pressure Ukraine into firing Prosecutor General Viktor Shkon to prevent corruption investigation of Ukrainian gas company Burisma to protect his son. I want to know if Zelensky works with him. Let me look it up here. Zelensky and Hunter Biden relationship. Ooh, I can't wait to see this one. NATO has categorically refused to grant membership to Ukraine at this juncture. That's all I'm gonna show. But they both got, they not saying it right out here for it, that they got the same, they got the exact same jobs. The same jobs. And I want to show you one more thing. If you never seen it before, some of y'all never seen it, some of y'all have. Hold on. Are y'all watching? Y'all watching me. Y'all like, we watching you. Hold on. I don't want to be in the picture. Why isn't it playing? I just hit play. It's another one that I seen. It's another one. Nobody never went through who found cocaine at the White House. Oh, you have to see this. This is, I promise I put this on God. This is the last one.
Thank you. I don't have a doubt about it. I know you say you want to support it. Thank you all for your patience. Bring the whole family up. Come on. Come on. Hi, baby. How are you? Good to see you. No, fun to you. Sally, how are you? You got a smile that lights up the whole Senate chamber. Good to see you. You're getting too old. You're getting too old and too lovely. What are you seeing? Hi,
This is my daughter.
Carrie, how are you? Hi, Jack. You have very good taste. Good to see you, man. You have great taste. Well, I'll tell you what, you've got very good taste. Like your father. It's a pleasure to meet you. I have very good taste. Come on, this can hurt your reputation, man. You're going to have to go home and explain, what did I do with that Democrat? Kids, come on over here, okay? You ready?
Thank you so much.
Are you getting in this picture?
Right, so
Right over here. Pleasure to meet you.
good. And again, please look right here.
Okay, so tell me about you.
His wife, Holly.
Hi, Holly, how are you? Now, when you come over to my side. I want you next to me.
Yes.
Oh, sister, you come over this side of it. Come over this side. Okay, come on, sis, you get right in the middle with me. You get right over here, over this side. Mom, you get right in the middle. Come on, Dad. Okay, here you go. How old are you?
28.
28. God, what?
26.
26. Look like you. I thought they were still in school. Too many beautiful girls in school. You got one job. My father used to say, for real, keep your boys away from your sister. That's the job. Just remember, no serious guys in your 30s. Is this your sister?
Yeah.
You have a hard job. You got to keep the boys away from your sister. That's the deal. Hey, Jasper, you're going to have a hard job keeping the boys away from your sister. Like you have a beautiful sister, and keep the boys away from your sister. That's the job. My dad used to say one job. Keep the guys away from your sister. My dad used to say you got one job. I have a beautiful sister like you guys. I swear to God, he used to say you have one job. Keep the guys away from your sister. You're in trouble. Okay, come on, everybody slide in.
What's this? Sky
So I'm
News.
gonna
I
get set
gotta
up
watch
for
it,
therapy,
y'all.
and I use this room as my office. But the desk is over here, and so
Joe Biden's cognitive and physical decline has been well documented throughout his administration. Mumbles and stumbles often make headlines and are mocked by primetime television hosts. But what is not widely spoken about is Joe Biden's creepiness. Sniffing children, inappropriate touching, and strange whispering have all come up multiple times throughout his presidency. But the mainstream media seem to sweep the concerning behaviour under the rug. Sky News All-Stars Rita Panahi, Paul Murray, and James Morrow exposed Joe Biden's creepiest moments. President Joe Biden claims that the children of America are all our children. But he's taken that claim a little too far on many occasions, acting very strange in his interactions with kids. Arguably the strangest of Joe Biden's creepy behaviour is his hair sniffing and close proximity to children's faces. Here's just a few of those moments.
Yeah. Let me whisper a secret. Don't tell Mommy what I told you.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. He sniffs too many children, that man.
Times when he gently rearranges a young girl's hair and whispers in her ear, then rearranges some more. There's nothing pervy here. The VP knows he's on camera at these swearing-in ceremonies, and the parents are right there as he leans in for a kiss.
Joe, stop eating the children. This may be some of the creepiest creepy Joe behavior I've ever seen, and I watch this stuff for a living. Here, the president was giving a talk about conservation actions taken by his administration when he spotted, you know where this is going? A small child with lots of very sniffable hair. Let's have a look.
Y'all know once a pedophile get used to having sex with children, it becomes obvious they can't help themselves. And then if they're narcissistic, they don't care about doing it on camera because it's like, who cares? Nobody's going to do nothing. I'm the president.
Oh, there he goes. He sees the kid. Yeah, picks her up. Yep. Oh, doesn't look happy. She does not look tremendously happy about this. What is going on here? She's saying, Daddy, can somebody please save me? No, Joe, no, Mr. President, you can't do this. Don't sniff the hair. Don't take the kid with you. This is, where are we going with this, Mr. President? Kevin, go down.
Our old mate Swampy Joe, otherwise known as Creepy Joe Biden, had to apologise when he was trying to become the Democratic nominee for kissing too many people on the hair, sniffing their hair, being a bit too awkward all the time. You would have seen this over and over and over again. Very uncomfortable. Thanks very much, Miss stay away from me. This was a joke way back when, but then, of course, he wasn't Donald Trump, so we have to pretend that none of this happened. Well, now it doesn't really matter because he can do whatever he wants, including ruin the American economy, and then guess what happens? They'll still keep cheering him on. Well, guess who's just reverted to being creepy President Joe?
But first to the US.
Ooh, that's my
he
girl.
is back. Yes, Creepy Joe is back. President Joe Biden went off script this week, and it went all wrong when he made these bizarro comments about a little girl while giving a speech at a military base in Virginia. Now, keep in mind, the little girl he's talking about is primary school aged.
I love those threats in her hair, man. I tell you what, and look at her. She looks like she's 19 years old, sitting there with her, like a little lady in a race car.
Let that sink in, y'all. Let that crap sink in. Let it sink in. She's a child, but he called her 19. I love that woman right there. It's been a minute.
Ew, what? The little girl is like 8 or 9. Let's not comment on how she crosses her legs and pretend that she looks like she's 19. You can imagine the media meltdown if Trump said anything like that.
Thank you. If Trump was doing this, they would eat it up. They would sit up there and literally, there would be no president. It would be no former president. If he did something like this, no, I changed that up. If he was Democrat and did his job well as a Democrat, everybody would be scared of him because he would be ruining the economy and getting away with it. They would love his energy if he gave in like most of the Democrats give in to each other, ruining the economy to get undercut, paid for the things that they do and turn a blind eye. Ask them if they can come to the hood and get some gas. Ask them how they feel about being followed, or do they drive their own cars, or do they drive in certain locations, or do they drive at all, or do they get their Secret Service and bodyguards to drive them around? Yeah, I get it.
Oh no, he's done it again.
Now, the very important thing I told my daughter and granddaughters, no serious guys till you're 30.
No what?
No serious guys till you're 30.
Don't keep that in mind. At least.
Yeah, that's not creepy at all, is it? Getting into a young girl's personal space and telling her not to have any boyfriends until she's 30. And look at how the alarmed Secret Service dude tries to stop this being taped once he sees that Joe has reverted back to his peculiar behaviour.
And it's not only children who the president is making uncomfortable. Celebrities and other world leaders also can't escape Joe's creepiness, says Sky News host Piers Morgan.
There was a moment, Rob, was a bit disconcerting, as so many are with President Biden, where King Charles appeared to be scolding a guard and trying to direct the president. He seemed to be losing his way as to exactly where he was or even what day it is. I don't know if we've got any footage of that, but it was, I think we've got it here, I think. But it was all a bit awkward, and the president does look like he doesn't really know where he is. This is the latest in a series of, well, just embarrassing moments, sort of senior moments. Yes, President Biden's fallen over, he's tripped on planes, he's said some daft things and so on. How concerning is this to you as an American citizen?
We've seen President Biden have a lot of gaps on stage, shaking hands with invisible people. In his defense on this part, I think when a lot of Americans go over there, they haven't been briefed up or studied enough on how to handle the royal family. We've seen it with President Trump. We saw President Obama give the Queen an iPod that didn't work. I think we were talking about the green room. They make a point of accidentally making themselves look like that. Don't walk in front of the king. Even I know that, but I think the king did a good job kind of grabbing President Biden and saying, "Hey, pal, let's do this."
Well, actually, I was more concerned with the president kept grabbing the king because you just don't touch the monarch. I mean, Louise, we know this. When the Australian Prime Minister Paul Keating once did this to Queen Elizabeth, he was called the Lizard of Oz by the British papers because you do not touch the monarch. And President Biden kept putting his arms grappling like an octopus around our monarch.
Trying to get a better sniff of it.
Yeah. But, well, he's also making creepy jokes about Hollywood actress Eva Longoria.
We've known each other a long time. She was 17, I was 40.
Ooh, okay, hey man, ever hear of Me Too?
And not even fellow Democrats were spared from Joe's awkward embrace. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and the wife of Defense Secretary Ash Carter were forced to endure prolonged touching from the president, says Sky News host Rita Panahi.
Because this is nothing new. Indeed, creepy Joe being handsy, inappropriate, and invading people's personal space was something the US media used to note. Even the far-left CNN used to report on his weird antics.
There are hugs where you just throw up your arms and go for it. And then there are hugs that keep going and going and going. Joe Biden wouldn't let Hillary go as they met on a tarmac at Scranton Airport. About 4 seconds into the hug, they semi-disengage. Nothing to see here, right? Wrong, because the vice president wouldn't unhand Hillary for almost 16 seconds.
Notice how many times she tries to tap out. She lets it go. He does not. She tap out. No, she's just, no, he's still holding on. Okay, second tap out. For God's sake, Joe, you got to let go.
Perhaps his most famous hands-on moment came when he put his hands on the wife of Defense Secretary Ash Carter.
Got a lot of thanks to give out.
Conservatives panned it.
This is the creepiest thing.
And so did some liberals.
No, that ain't right, man. That ain't right. Why are you appear to smell her hair?
Joe Biden has also displayed a habit of whispering during press conferences, which he seems to think is comical, but others see as downright creepy.
I'm going to be a bit repetitive. The 8-hour day, the weekend, time and a half for overtime, safety standards, sick days, victories for all of us. Because I might add, I notice when you all do that, everybody benefits.
Don't worry, Joe was also doing all his greatest hits, including the creepy whisper.
We're going to build 5,500 electric charging stations. Guess who builds them?
Sky News rocks. Y'all must watch it. I'm done. Whew, that is my cue, you guys. So all those people that say, let's vote Joe Biden, even, if you still doubt Trump by now, man, just stay neutral, man. Don't do yourself no service by sitting up there voting for our president. I'm not trying to sway your votes and say do this or this gonna happen. All I'm saying is that look at what I just showed you. Look, then everything I put on my page on Instagram was sitting up there getting debunked by an amateur that's been in Hollywood scene for like 20, 30 years. He's probably my age, if not probably a little older. I didn't like the comments he was making. He looked at people's stuff, and if they're not shaped like Beyonce, or if they're not shaped like, high-end celebrities, listen up, Marlon Wayans. I don't want to be shaped like Beyonce. I don't want to dance like Beyonce. I'll dance like myself. I don't want to be a part of anything Beyonce do anymore. I'm okay with it. Once she gets to a certain point in her life where she's finally okay, where she's not worried about me or any other inspiring person that wants to be in the Hollywood scene, then I'll start figuring out how I can get into the Hollywood scene. As far as being like her, no, I don't want to be like her. And I don't want to be like you for you trying to mock me 5 different times. And you don't know what I want to say, but you suck as a comedian. You weren't funny. So get some new script instead of using my dance moves and what I do so that you can feel good about yourself. Go ahead and jump on Cowboy by Beyonce if that's what you want to do. Until then, leave me alone. I blocked you. I didn't just delete you. I blocked you. Have a wonderful night, Marlon. You can say F me or she ain't all that, whatever. I love myself. Do you love yourself or are you a sellout? Bye-bye.